Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. And today we are using this wonderful Pansy Patch photopolymer stamp set and coordinating pansy dies. And we also have the Pansy Garden Designer Series paper in use as well today in that background. So that's a really lovely set of paper, and it's got loads and loads of colours in it, including these wonderful versatile ginghams. So this is Fresh Freesia and Pale Papaya that are the new in colours, and then we've got all the wonderful sort of floral images. This is Bumblebee. We've got Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen in here as well. It's the Soft Succulent gingham. We've also got Polished Pink in here. These are Polished Pink. Blackberry Bliss is the deep colour there as well. And then we've got some more of the Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent in there as well. Okay, so really colourful pack of paper. And having done a little bit of Google foo on pansy colours, they can come in a whole range of colours. So to my mind, when I think of pansies, I think of these lovely purple and yellow flowers, which is what inspired these particular flowers being created. So I brought in, that's actually Daffodil Delight, but I guess if you were using the colours in the Designer Series paper, Bumblebee would have been the choice. But needless to say, I think they turned out really well. I actually used Rich Raspberry and Blackberry Bliss to get the purple around the edges there. And then brought in the Freesia just to sort of soften the whole thing up. So really like what I've created there. So we're going to replicate it, but mix it up slightly. I'm sticking with the Blackberry Bliss, and that'll be obvious why in a minute. And then I'm bringing in the Pale Papaya, so I'm changing the colour of my flowers that I'm going to use today. So we'll just get this layered up onto our card base so it's ready to go, and we'll do our little layer. So this is using one of what I call my card formula. So I've cut and scored my cardstock by slicing an A4 sheet up the middle at 4 1/8 and scoring at 5 7/8 of an inch. So that's how that happened. The paper there measures 4 inches across by 5 3/4. This piece of Whisper White is 3 by 4 3/4, so a whole inch smaller than the corresponding DSP layer. And the Blackberry Bliss matte is 3 1/8 by 4 7/8 of an inch. So again, an inch shorter and narrower than the outer edge. Okay, so that's my sort of formula, if you like, and I'm just putting that together with seal. I'm not doing any stamping on this layer, so I'm just going to get this put on it as well. And because we've got this gingham in the background, that'll help you line it up, but also tell tales on you if it's not quite straight. So there we go. So I think that's kind of straight. That's ready to go. So I'm going to just bring it in a scrap of cardstock to do some stamping. So I've already got one of my flowers already stamped, but I'm going to show you the process. So we need 3 of them, so it's going to create some space there. So this is all sort of multi-step stamping, if you like. So I've got the main petal image here that we can stamp down. It is a distinctive stamp, Okay, but if you want to add the extra detail, then we've got this other stamp that goes over the top. Now you have to be ideally you want your head right over the top of the image to line that up correctly, and I'm just looking for those little bits that go in on the sides. So if I just lift that up, I'm looking here and here to line up these sort of bumps with the main image. Okay, so once that dries, there will be some nice definition on there. So if I just show you this one up close, we can see those lovely little extra details, and it just adds a little bit of something. Okay, if you use a different coloured ink, obviously that's going to be more pronounced, like it is on this. Okay, so if I was using pumpkin pie or something like that, it would look quite different. In fact, just for comparison's sake, let's do that. Do our base layering. This is pale papaya, and then if I bring in something like pumpkin pie, again, I'm looking to line up these portions here. Just leaning over that as best I can. Sometimes it's hard to see through the stamp when you've got a dark ink on it, so sometimes people stamp the other way, they do the detail and then go over the top. Okay, so there's an option for you as well. So we could use the second generation ink over the top of that one. Gives it a bit more definition. Okay, so the choice is yours whether you go for a tone on tone look, or whether you want to go with a darker ink. I actually quite like the dark one. I've already stamped the other ones, but it might look okay. So then we've got the little centre portions. So we've got some fresh freesia to go into the middle there. I would recommend taking some time to play with this stamp set and work out how things work and go together. Okay, put those little middles in, and then again I'm going to go with a darker contrasting colour of Blackberry Bliss to add that definition into the middle. So that's why I left the Blackberry Bliss in as my card base and layers. Okay, and there we have our pansies, and then similarly the little leaves that we've got are also a two-step stamping element too. So this is soft succulent, and I just double mounted those just so that they were stamped at the same time. And then we've got the detail that we can put in with evening evergreen. So these ones I've mounted separately. So again, you want to get your head as close as you can to that. You guys are just where I need to be, so they may not line up perfectly, but it will suffice for demonstration purposes. Same with this one. And of course, with it being photopolymer, you can see through those, making that two-step element all the easier to do. Okay. Okay, so we just need to do a bit of die cutting. Okay, so there are dies for all of these little elements here that we can just line up over the top of those images. Just take a moment or two to line those up. I've already got one set of leaves, so I just need one other set. Okay, definitely a set that you want to get to know, really. Okay, so this is the there are two pansies that you can stamp. Large one and a small one. This being the larger. Okay, so we're just going to run those through the die cut machine. Like so. And then we've got our elements for our card. Okay. So we're bringing our card base. We've got 2 sets of leaves there. And I've already got 2 of my pansies. So these are going to go onto dimensionals, and I'm going to do double dimensionals on the one that's going to go in the middle. So we'll make that darker one that we did the pumpkin pie on. So if you layer those over the top of the existing dimensionals, we'll get double height for when we build up our card. And I've just realised I haven't stamped my sentiment, because that would be going on to dimensionals too. So I just need to grab that piece, will do. And we're using Blackberry Bliss ink just to pull the design together through the layers and the sentiment. So we'll just put that down there. Really nice crisp image. And we're going to use the Label Me Lovely punch to bring that out. Like so. It fits in that punch really nicely. So as I say, we're just going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of there as well. Okay, so the first thing to lay down on this particular card is our sentiment, which we can do right now. Just pop that towards the top in the centre. Then we've got our larger, darker one that we're going to position first, and then we're going to slot the other 2 in behind so that they're not obscuring the wording too much. So it looks like the sentiment is like you know those little labels that you can stick in the ground to tell you what you've got in your garden. So we can do that. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of tape runner on the back of these leaves and just slot those into place as well. That. And like so. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright, so that's it. That's our card for today. This was the original sample. Do like the freesia, but it's all personal preference, and there's lots and lots of different colours to play with. We just find the right combination for your particular pansies that you want to create. Thanks ever so much for joining me again today. Hope you've enjoyed that. Links are in the description as always. Take care everybody. Bye.